All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the recap. Michael D'Angelo, joined as always by my partner in crime, Mr. Big D. Daryl Ortiz. Happy Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry
Hope
Christmas.
everyone had a happy holiday, had a good time. Hopefully your kids got lots of stuff and they're grateful for it.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
and I hope the cookie hangover is at the end of its run.
Exactly. They're at the end of the cookie hangover and hangovers of other kinds as well.
No, that's coming up for New Year's. The hangovers are coming up.
That is true. That is true. Speaking of which, it felt. Speaking of hangovers, it felt like Raw and SmackDown were a little bit of a hangover this week as well. They did the pre-tape shows because this isn't the old WWE where they get forced to work through all holidays and everything else.
Which I'm glad.
Yeah, which is definitely a good thing. They should have the opportunity to spend time with their families as well. But we were mentioning before we came on, there was a lot of leaks online. So there wasn't a bunch of surprises. We knew about a week ahead of time that Carmelo Hayes was going to be the new United States champion just because of stuff that got leaked. So, and especially now, WWE does a really poor job of keeping things discreet. So like the telegraphing that Gunther was going to be John Cena's last opponent, like way before even the tournament. So
yeah.
You know, when they actually do a pre-tape show, everything is going to get leaked.
Yeah, and it's just the power of social media and the internet now. I think when I was just telling you, when I saw Austin Theory, I saw Austin Theory. We'll talk about him later, but we talked about Carmelo Hayes getting the title. I saw that on TikTok. Like somebody was at the show, had leaked it, and it's understandable because, like you said, they can't stop everybody. As much as I'm sure they would love to, it's not going to happen. So, it is what it is.
There was whole online postings about here's what happened in all the matches, like immediately.
Oh, because everyone wants to be the first. Everyone wants to be the best. Everyone wants to be the most accurate and all that.
Yeah, they want to try and jump out ahead. And I was like, guys, just let us enjoy the shows. But probably the biggest thing on Raw, Big D, was the continuation of Austin Theory trying to join the Vision. That was really the most eventful thing.
Yeah. So just a quick little recap of Raw. Asuka beats Rhea Ripley with a roll-up because Io Sky tried to help and still cost her the match. But the thing about this, I just want to touch on this one a little bit. I feel this one, what WWE has a tendency of doing is that when they're power stars, I call her power because she's strong, powerful, and she's just has a aura about her with the audience, with the crowd. She's a big crowd favorite. When they start getting too hot and they're not a champion, they kind of try to knock them down a few pegs first to rebuild them again stronger. So I think that's what's happening right now. You're gonna have that slight downfall of Rhea Ripley, just kind of getting that loss, kind of coming back. But her comeback is gonna be much more, how can you say it, aggressive and a lot more angrier. So I think that it's a good thing for her. She's eventually going to be a champion. I will say by WrestleMania she will be women's champion again. I think they're just trying to knock her down a few pegs to bring her back up again. So that's just what I feel is going to happen.
Well, and I think you're right because also she lost basically with a surprise roll up.
Yeah, it was
she got distracted, so it was kind of there was shenanigans with it as well. But I think you're right. She's coming off of the broken nose, the facial injury, and now she's not wearing the mask anymore. So I think now she's essentially back healthy again. This will be a good time for them to start working her towards WrestleMania.
Yep. Then you had Javon Evans defeating Rayo Americano. Or Pete Dunne. But this was more just to kind of remind the crowd that Javon Evans is a free agent soon, and we will be seeing him on the main roster. This was, since it was a tape show, I think they just kind of took advantage of the opportunity to showcase him again and keep him fresh in the crowd's mind, in our minds, so that we know that who he is when they do call him up, because he is a phenomenal athlete. I think he is a great wrestler. I'm excited to see him move up in the card, but this was just kind of like hey, don't forget this guy exists.
Yeah, it was definitely, it was a great match. It was really entertaining, and it was definitely this is more of a showcase for Javon Evans. And I think you're seeing this an awful lot recently on the roster with the call-ups, because you had Joe Hendry make his official debut really on SmackDown this week. You had Swerve Strickland backstage.
Yep. No, Trick Williams.
Huh? Oh yeah, Trick Williams. Trick Williams was essentially taunting Cody Rhodes. And I'm kind of at the point where I think, Obafemi's probably, they're doing stuff to tease him as well. It feels like they're calling up a lot of NXT folks, which I'm like, who's getting released on the main roster? That's what I'm starting to get a little more concerned about, because they got to make room for everybody.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see when they have their exodus at the beginning of the year, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Yep, I agree. After that, we had Bayley beating Roxanne Perez. Bayley gets the win. Lara Valkyria was involved, but this keeps building up Roxanne Perez. I think they have her. I think they're pushing her to be some sort of contender come Rumble time. I think she's gonna. I think they're just trying to push her up a little bit more, building her character more and more and more. I think that's inevitable at this point because she is a great wrestler. I mean, I think Booker T. She's the one that Booker T trained, so obviously she has a lot of praises coming from him, and the WWE takes it serious, so they're gonna definitely let her shine. So they're gonna get her. It's kind of like a I feel like a quiet passing of the torch without actually passing the torch yet, if that makes sense. Bayley's still relevant. Obviously, she still wins, but Roxanne's still building that credibility slowly by slowly by slowly. This was kind of like her audition tape for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Yeah, and they did the usual like Lyra hulking up, slapping her and hulking her up so that she could win at the end. And then a lot of this was about then the continuation stop start of like confusion and disorganization and dissension among the Judgment Day. That was like the big theme here too, where they're all kind of infighting again for the 1000th time in the 1000th configuration. So I'm at the point I don't even believe they're going to break them up.
Yeah, I mean, but that's because you had Liv at ringside helping her out. Yeah. And then you had Raquel show up and then mess it up. And then backstage, she was like, well, I got a title to worry about anyways. And she kind of just like walked away. So that's kind of, yeah, I see what you're saying there. That could possibly be it. After that, we had our main event. Of course, they showed that the Vision, Austin Theory, is looking to be the newest member. This was his big return moment, I feel. He kind of was just like, I guess in many words, taking the brass ring himself and just taking now instead of just doing it. So that's definitely something that they're going to show him continue to build and grow within. I mean, he's getting instant legitimacy in this match. He did get the victory by hitting the curb stomp. So he is taking Seth Rollins' finisher. He looked really strong in this match, and he stood tall next to Bronson Reed as looking like he is going to be because they didn't officially say he was part of the Vision, but this was kind of like his audition, so he is going to be part of the Vision. But CM Punk stays protected as champ because Rey Mysterio took the pin, and of course he's Rey Mysterio, and that's just he's a legend. So I mean, there's always going to be a win in that instance there. I will say that Austin Theory, this rebuild is being done much better than the Mr. McMahon groupie one that they did one time. But yeah, I like that. I think that was a good look, a good way to do it for him. I think he is going to be probably another Rumble contender because now we're kind of, again, we got to start thinking about the Royal Rumble at this time because the Royal Rumble is next month, and that's what's going to be happening soon. So I think this is going to be, the reset is done for him. Like they've been trying to figure out what works. I think this is going to be the more better option, the more aggressive looking, and I think this is going to be for him to really just either flourish or squander. I mean, it's for him to do, right? I mean, I think this is going to be something really good. He is definitely going to be, like I said, in the final. I would dare say he'd be like in the final four in the Rumble. Whether he wins it or not, I have to see what happens.
Well, I mean, he looked fantastic. Like physically, he looks great as always, and he kind of reminded everybody what a great wrestler he is in ring.
He is.
Working. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm not wild about his new gear. Like he's got the big patch, the dark patch. It was kind of like the Braun Strowman had the pants that were the khaki with the dark patch that looked like he peed himself. Theory was wearing similar pants where he has like the dark patch on the inside where I was like, I just don't like that look. And Strowman looked silly. So I wish they would change that part, but I like his gear. I like his attitude. I am curious though, if he's going to turn out to be like a double agent for Seth Rollins, and that because I'm like, he does Seth Rollins' move. He wasn't brought in by Paul Heyman. He came out of nowhere and had to convince Paul Heyman to let him be a part of this group. So I'm like, this kind of has a feeling that that'll be the swerve, that when Seth comes back, that he's working with Seth, and then they try to kind of feud Seth and Theory versus the Bronze for a little bit.
Yeah, and I feel like WrestleMania we could see Austin Theory versus Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
I think
well, and do you think Braun's going to take the title on January 5th? I think so too. I think they kind of have to. They almost teased a little bit like a face-off with CM Punk and Gunther when Gunther
which
came
will
out
happen
right
as
before
well.
That.
If Braun Breaker doesn't take the title, it's going to be CM Punk and Gunther at WrestleMania. That is going to be the WrestleMania match. So that's what's going to tell us, because that stare down was not just like it wasn't fan service, right? It was legit. Like this is going to be the WrestleMania main event, because I mean, it's Gunther's shtick, right? He's like the retirer or whatever he wants to call himself now, right? Like, so I think this is going to be, I think that's if Braun Breaker doesn't win the title off of CM Punk, and it's possible because Theory could help, but
Yeah.
because he's still technically trying out or whatever. But if he doesn't take the title off of CM Punk, then we're gonna see Gunther and Punk at the WrestleMania. That's what it's
Yep.
gonna be.
Agreed. Yeah.
But
So
that was it. I mean,
that was it for
Nikki Bella
Raw.
did pop up to. I'm sorry, that was Nikki Bella did pop up to kind of just trash talk and say she's back in here still. She's trying. I mean, she's trying to tease another run. I hope not.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch returned as well. She's saying she wants a shot at the title, and I know Maxine Dupree came out and got her in the ankle lock and made her submit, so made her tap. I mean, I think this is just all of that to say that Becky's going to take that title back because I feel like they made the Intercontinental title for her. So I think this is going to happen. So I don't know. We'll see. But that was pretty much it for Raw.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy.
Nothing too crazy. And SmackDown, kind of felt limited to me as well. I mean, at least we got a Miracle on 34th Street fight. we got a little bit of tradition. That's what it opened with Joe Hendry and Otis and Tozawa and a mystery person in a bunny outfit,
which we all knew who it was.
Which we all knew it was R-Truth, and of course it was R-Truth because he thought it was Easter. So that's why he was dressed as the Easter Bunny. This was a fun match. You had like the spot. Joe Hendry pulled the guitar out, and then Miz pulled out a ukulele, and they were facing off with each other. You had the fallaway slam with the Christmas tree. Like it was kind of a fun, silly, goofy match. That was really more a handicap match because everybody was attacking them at that point because it's a street fight. So it's no DQ anyway.
There's no rules.
So there's no rules. So they all beat up the Miz, which was fine. It almost tells me, I'm like, is Miz going to get cut? But once they kind of move on into next year, he's been with the company for a very long time. I'm wondering if he might be on the chopping block, but he basically got jobbed out to Joe Hendry here. Joe had the fun, Christmas song about the Mrs. Balls that was funny. The crowd seemed to be into it, so fun stuff. But this was fun.
I think this was more just the WWE testing. I think they're on the cusp with Joe Hendry. They don't. I feel like Triple H doesn't really understand his gimmick, and this is him kind of testing the waters, right? He's in NXT technically, so he signed him to NXT because he feels that's where he probably should go. But I feel like this was kind of just like the live test to see if the crowd can connect with him, if he can connect with the crowd beyond a comedic stint. He does. I mean, he proved it here. Joe Hendry is a good wrestler. I think to most people's surprises who don't really know about Joe Hendry, he was TNA champion for a reason. I mean, I think this was just really more. This is more Joe Hendry saying, "Yeah, I sing sometimes, but I can also get down in the ring." And because he let the Miz, I mean, the Miz put him over. I mean, I know the Miz has been losing, but not like that. I think it's everyone that beats the Miz is for purpose, is for a reason. So I think that's what this was.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then after this, we got Lash Legend versus Charlotte Flair, and it's just the continuation of the feuding tag teams because you had Nia Jax ringside and you also had Alexa Bliss ringside. Basically, I mean, it was a pretty even match. I felt like Lash Legend, they should have done more to showcase her, but it was relatively even. And then Charlotte got the win with basically a surprise sunset flip roll up, so which was fine. It was okay. I just feel like at some point, Charlotte doesn't need the win. I think Lash Legend probably could have done better to get the win here.
Yeah,
but it was fine. This one was okay as well.
This was just like hey, I'm Charlotte Flair, I could still win.
Yeah. I still have veto power at the end of the day. It's kind of how it felt. After this was the match of the night for me, which is the Ilya Dragunov versus Carmelo Hayes for the U.S. Championship. Again, the surprise on this one was kind of ruined online because people were already posting about it after it happened, and this was a pre-taped match, but nevertheless, it was still great. And it is great to see Carmelo Hayes finally carrying a title on the main roster, which is really, really cool. He kind of slowly transitioned from being a heel to being a face. Just kind of like from one week to the next with the feud with the Miz. But he looked fantastic here. He hit the first 48 followed by nothing but net. And again, I think I probably would have been more surprised had I not known the outcome. I would have thought, Dragunov's probably going to kick out of that anyway. But he did not. And we have a new United States champion. So congratulations, Carmelo Hayes. And I had mentioned a few weeks ago, I was like, man, I really wish they would do more with Hayes and let him win a title. And they did. So thanks for listening.
I agree. And I think this was great. I mean, and Dragunov losing, I mean, he doesn't lose anything really. He's still like a credible menace. Like he's very, I don't think anyone loses in this match really, right? What this did though, I feel this did a lot more for the US title than just handing it off to the next guy. I feel like the US title now is like the workhorse belt again, like it
Yeah,
used to be, you know. So
yeah,
and I'm glad that's what it should be. It
it
should
should be.
change, you know, frequently because
Yeah.
it is
Well, and
like,
be
hey,
defended frequently because like they're
exactly,
doing that, like it's
exactly,
getting defended every single week. So even if it changes hands frequently, it's like there's multiple title defenses. It's not like somebody grabbing it
exactly.
and holding it for like 3 months and defending
Yeah,
it once.
exactly. And I feel what will end up happening here, and I don't know, this could just me being crazy, but I feel this is where Carmelo Hayes will go back to being a heel. He'll go back to feeling himself, and he'll go back to being like, "Yep, this is who I am," being arrogant, being cocky, and eventually the crowd will see that he never really stopped being who he was, and he's just gonna be. I feel this will be a good way to turn him heel eventually again. So I think, and because he never really turned face, the crowd
No,
just kind of made him
he
face. So I
didn't.
think this is just be
Yeah.
him like reinforcing why he's a heel, and I'm cool with that because I mean he's as long as he keeps putting up great matches, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. And he looked fantastic here. And great match, well deserved. And then after this, the other U.S. champion, Chelsea Green, was out. It was Chelsea Green and Alba Fire versus Julia and Kiana James in a tag match
Yeah.
with Julia pinning Green. This one was kind of a short match. I could tell they were running out of time. I didn't realize this was technically the main event. I mean, it was. The main event was like a
Yeah.
segment after this,
Yeah.
but it was just kind of a flat match. And I don't like the fact that you have Green losing clean all the time, but she kind of got beat
Yeah.
up and she lost clean. I know Chelsea's a good sport about stuff like this, where she's like, she'll do whatever they ask her to do. It just kind of felt like a flat way to kind of close out the wrestling for the show, to have her
Yeah.
get beat relatively easily in a relatively short match. And then they'll just kind of continue on with the comedic shenanigans with her. But this one, I was just like, it's fine. I don't like the fact that she loses an awful lot for a champion.
Yeah, and I know she doesn't have a problem with it. I've seen the interviews where she's like, "I don't care." I mean, she's fine, but it just I agree with you. At some point it kind of becomes annoying that the champ gets pinned. But I think this is really more. I mean, they're just pretty much being farmed out to build towards like the Elimination Chamber or Royal Rumble. So I mean, we'll see what ends up happening. I don't. I wasn't a fan of how this match ended. I mean, I would have much rather Alba Fire take the pin. Um, but I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is. And then our final segment was just Drew McIntyre finally coming down to the ring to get reinstated. He had to pay his fine, and then he had to apologize to the ref, and he did both of those. And then afterwards, he was mean to the referee and provoked Cody to come down to the ring. And Drew was trying to provoke him into hitting him, because if he hits Cody Rhodes, or if Cody Rhodes hits Drew McIntyre before their
Mhm.
match, he has forfeits his title. It isn't like it gets taken and given to Drew McIntyre. He just forfeits his title, he gets stripped of
Yeah.
it. And then somehow Drew was allowed to make the stipulations for their world title match, and he decided it was going to be a 3 stages of hell match. Which I'm like, why is Drew McIntyre being given all this authority now, where he can basically make stipulations where Cody's not allowed to touch him? He can still touch Cody. Cody's not allowed to touch him because he hit him with the Claymore after this, and if he does, he'll lose his title. And he's making all the match stipulations, which tells me you have to put the title on Drew. Because if you have Drew McIntyre controlling every single outcome in these next couple of weeks and every single stipulation, and then he loses to Cody Rhodes, who made him look like a complete chump. And they do that a lot with Drew McIntyre. They make him look like a complete chump. So I don't know. Like the whole thing just kind of seemed a little goofy and silly. They're giving him that level of authority. We'll see what the 3 matches are that they pick for the 3 stages of hell. I assume there's going to be like a Street Fighter no DQ one. Maybe they'll have like a cage match for one of them. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the breakdown is. It's just, for me, this whole thing was kind of like, you have to put the title on Drew when it after the culmination of this, or it didn't make any sense, and you totally buried Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, I feel so. As much as I hate to say it, because we're trying to push Cody as I've been trying to say that Cody's eventually going to turn heel. I feel like Cody's going to retain, but like barely. Drew's going to dominate at least 2 stages of the 3 stages of hell. And then Cody's just going to survive on pure grit, not dominance. Like he's not going to
Yeah.
like dominate anyone. He's just going to out grit. You know, it's going to just pure grit. But Drew doesn't disappear, right? He's going to escalate it. Stipulations are going to get worse and worse, and Cody's reign stops feeling like, you know, he stops feeling a little more less comfortable with his title because Drew's going to win. It's going to be a pivot that Drew is going to eventually challenge. I feel they're going to milk this through WrestleMania, and that's going to be the WrestleMania card. It's going to be Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes, whether Drew wins the Rumble to do it, because again, Drew likes to say how they make him jump through hoops to get title shots, or he's just going to make the match and it's going to be like a very like extreme stipulation, maybe like a Hell in a Cell match, a cage match, or something like that, or a strap match. Those are very nice. But I mean, again, I feel that's what's really going to happen. So
yeah, we'll see. Well, when is their title match officially?
It's at the Berlin show. So
is that the Berlin show?
Let me take a look here. I think that's going to be the first one of the new year. Let me go.
Yeah, I was like, I assumed it's going to be like the first SmackDown of the new year, like the season premiere.
The Bash at Berlin, I think it's still under that name, I believe. Bash in Berlin. That should be. I believe it will be. I don't know. They haven't set a date yet.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's coming. It's got to be coming up soon. I assumed it was probably just gonna be the same week as like you have the Netflix anniversary show on Raw.
Well, unless hang on, maybe it's not the Bash in Berlin. Let me see here. It can be a SmackDown show. I don't know. They never really said.
Yeah, I was trying to think about that. I was like, I don't know when they've announced it. I mean, I am not sure when it's supposed to happen. But it's gonna be on SmackDown on January 9th. That's what it says.
It's a SmackDown show.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, then the title's not changing hands.
Well, and I'm like, is it going to take up the entire show? Because it's like three.
Well, remember in January, SmackDown changes to 3 hours.
3 hours. Well, yeah. Well, I'm like, they're going to at least use an hour and a half. I'm betting.
Yeah.
On those guys, so that'll be interesting.
Well, there you have it. I'll go on record on saying that. Clip it, screenshot it, whatever.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes retains on SmackDown. I'm going to say Drew McIntyre. Gosh, I hope he wins because he will look like a total champ.
I agree. I feel he should win, but
yeah, but I don't know. But anyway, so that was it for SmackDown. That's what we got this week, everybody. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments. What do you think will happen at the January 9th SmackDown show? Are we going to have a new champion, or is it going to be Cody retaining? Probably Cody retaining. But yeah, leave us your comments. We always love to hear from you. And that's what we got this week. And happy New Year, everyone, as well, because we're going to be getting into New Year's next week. So that's what we've got. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you soon.